Hi there, planner friends, and welcome to another plan with me. Still using my personal rainbound planner, and this time I am motivated by this gorgeous set of sticky notes. I mean, they're pretty, right? The dark floral, so wonderful. However, they suck. They suck, they suck, they suck. Um, and I was so enthralled by these sticky notes that over the course of like a week, I think I went to Michael's multiple times to pick up like all the items in this collection. You know how it goes. I even bought like little tab dividers too. Um, and I haven't touched any of it, which is a big no-no right now in my goal to kind of use what I have and not purchase anything new. So I decided to tackle this mighty task of putting some overlooked items to use because they are really pretty, and I'm especially a fan of that olive green. I think it really sets the whole thing off and makes the foiling, which isn't something I typically like, really something special. So right now I'm just kind of surveying my wares and deciding what I'm actually going to do, and it's a little difficult for me, as you'll see. So I am just securely adhering this large sticky note to Monday, and it's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm just using some Tombow glue stick. It's a scented one. It's a floral one. It's not an offensive smell. It's just not the best glue stick in the world, so that's something. Although you can see when I pulled up that sticky note, it actually pulled up some of the paper too. And I decided it was just way too large as it was, so I got another one and I cut it down to fit. And now I'm just trying to figure out kind of my scheme, because my planning style is kind of similar week to week. It's like I have one major tentpole event sort of thing going on, and then off to the side I'll write a to-do list that's somehow related, possibly not, just some goals or just tasks I want to complete during the day. And since there was an absence of really any sort of check mark or list thing, I just did my own dots using, I think, the blue-black Coleto ink, and then I offset that with some very yellow gold Uniball Signo ink, which matches the foiling in these sticky notes and in the stickers actually, because the gold foiling is not like a soft pink or champagne-y gold. It is definitely a yellow gold, which appeals to me since it really goes with that olive green. And I think this is the one and only washi strip I use in this whole spread. So it's looking kind of rough. I mean, it's not really unified by any means, except for I personally know it came from the same book, but other than that, it kind of looks awful. And I realized this soon and tried to amend what I did, or at least I tried to make it all match. And I thought the key to that would be more washi. I was wrong. Especially this washi, because the strip isn't long enough widthwise to like actually match the width of my planning paper, so I tried to cut it in half and that didn't work because it has a print that I had to match up, and I'm not that great, nor do I care that much about cutting it down perfectly. So I thought, hey, I'll just put it at the top. It'll match. That didn't work either. And I just bunted that page flag so that it had that cute little triangle. And here's when I decided washi is a no-go. because to me the key to making this work wasn't to include any pink or anything like that at the top or the bottom to kind of wrap it all up. That was, I think, too much pink, especially considering I told you I like the olive part the most. So here I'm just fussy cutting, term from quilting when I did that many moons ago. I just fussy cut some of the wonderful little floral pieces from that large post-it note, and I decided that's one way to kind of bring the whole design together, would be to ground it with these two little floral things at the corners of the paper. But it wasn't enough, so I bust out my Koi watercolor field kit, and I knew there was this perfect already blended shade of olive green, and I decided to paint my inserts. So yeah, no regrets. I actually really liked the way that turned out. And I'm just letting it dry a little bit before I actually glue down those little corner embellishments. And this is usually how I mix colors. I really like the water brushes, and I just like squeeze out a few drops of the color, and then I like dot some color in. I'm not a pro by any means. I just decided I needed some pink too, so I blended together a dusty pink to highlight the dates so that they wouldn't get lost, because although I am a huge fan of the font in these Kate Spade inserts, if you have a busy spread, they tend to get lost, and sometimes they ask to be covered up, and here I just think they needed to be highlighted. And I'm just using a piece of cut off watercolor paper as kind of my base paper, cover paper. There's a word for it. I'm not sure what it is. I just woke up. So, I don't know. I was also kind of interested to see how this paper would hold up after being bombarded with some watercolor. And we'll see. I'm also applying some gilded edge to the planner page because I thought that would be one step to really, really unify this whole look. And I think it worked. This is probably the most unused pen in my Signo collection, of which I only have 3. It's a white and a silver and this gold. Because the gold is so weird. A lot of the sticker kits or stickers that I see on Etsy or Michaels or the ones in my collection, they are a different color gold than this pen actually is. So I was really happy to use it. And I'm just using a binder clip to kind of hold that down because the adhesive isn't so great, and I was worried that it'd be liable to crack and like fall off. And then I am just fussy cutting some more for the next side. And this whole process, comparatively with my last plan with me, took a good, I would say 45 minutes longer. It would have been more if I had to go searching for my watercolor kit or searching for my binder clips or stuff like that, but my desk is a massive mess right now, so it was all within arm's length, which is thankful. And I'm just using my favorite floral boxes to denote the days that I have to work. And I'm using those page flags that I added that edge to, just to stand for to-do list headers. And I cut one of those boxes in half to add like a little focal point on Saturday. And I really like these arrow flags too. And there was that giant notes one, and I really wanted to utilize it somehow, but to be honest, it's like half the size of my actual insert. So I just cut out the hand lettered part, or the part that looks like it was hand lettered, to break off my notes section. And I think I did a little better with my notes section this week. I tried to call attention to what was happening next week or stuff I wanted to work on next week. I mean, I still haven't utilized it to its fullest, so if you have any recommendations on what to do with that section, please message me down below. I'm still in search of. And then I decided it wasn't enough to have the olive down there. I should really have it covering up that, or lingering under the notes section. That part I didn't like so much. It would have been pink. I think it should have been that dusty pink color instead. But I had that giant pink sticky note right above it, and I didn't want to be so matchy-matchy. And I decided that sticker that I originally used, which was the only sticker from that 5-sheet floral set, it just wasn't working, so I added another page flag to keep kind of the theme going. And then I forgot I did not gilt the edges, so I went back in, which is a little more difficult once you have the floral accents pasted in. But that's okay, I made it work. And I think it really adds to the whole kind of shabby chic vibe that's going on here. That's not personally my style usually, but I'm really feeling it. I think it worked. And my goal was to kind of use up these sticky notes. I didn't use them as much as I thought I would. I mean, I used them for every single day of the spread. It's just, I still have so many left. And to let it set, so that hopefully the paper wouldn't buckle too much, I rested it between this unused Happy Planner sticker book. And I'm actually really impressed with the paper quality again. It looks nice and smooth, and despite the prodigious use of water, it didn't really buckle at all. On the back you can see slightly warped only on that note section, because I initially placed on more water than color, and then I had to go back in with the color, and it was a whole thing. But it didn't affect the other side whatsoever, despite it being just an all pen spread, so opportunity for failure was very high. But I really like this week, and it's such a departure from what I've been doing that I was glad for the opportunity to use that watercolor set too, because it really is amazing, and I'm reminded how much more I love it every time I use the Jean Davenport one. So, subtle shade, but anyways, that's this week's spread, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.